So here's my thoughts about the whole Jess Hilarious going live, airing out Breakfast Club. I feel like Breakfast Club producers or whoever made the show behind the scenes felt bullied into hiring her because she announced it on Instagram when they were going through the whole guest fill in, I guess, trying to see who they wanted to fill in for Angela Yee. I think they felt bullied when she announced it and she didn't know. And she admittedly said on the podcast that she just said in existence and just said it. And that's kind of how she got the role. She didn't really know if she got the role. And that's how she got the position on the Breakfast Club. They didn't have the opportunity to just pick. I think that they went by social media and when everybody was like jumping on the bandwagon like, oh, we so excited, Jess Hilarious is joining the show. But she really wasn't joining the show. She was just putting it out there saying she got the show when she really didn't. So I think the Breakfast Club felt bullied, and that's why they hired her in the position. And then she took her maternity leave, and Lauren LaRosa said, this is my time. She like, when the opportunity arose, she was like, I'm going for what I know. I went to school for this, and I have a background in journalism. So I think it was more on being a social media influencer versus a person that's actually a journalist. I think Lauren LaRosa should be I think they both could be on there in their own capacity. And I also think that if Jess want to bow out, I think Lauren, she can hold it down. I mean, I'm sure she made the ratings go up because I watched it. I actually enjoy her. But she came 100. She knew, like, this is my time to either try to get a spot. I don't think she went into it trying to take Jess Hilarious' spot. I think she was just like, it's room for both of us. It's 2 men on the show. It could be 2 women on the show. So, and I think that they should still let Jess Hilarious do her segment. But her speaking on the politics, Jess Hilarious, I think she was dead wrong. You in a contract, sis, and the way that you got your job, like announcing it before it was announced, and now having a problem with it. But I don't blame you for going for your dreams and doing other ventures. I think you could definitely hold down your own stuff, get your own podcast, etc., etc. But I just think, man, oh man, I would not have went live talking about my job, let alone my bosses. So I can't wait to see the interview because I think another interview came out talking about her talking on live. So what y'all think? Y'all, Just Hilarious has ruined the work environment in that studio. And if she doesn't think that her job is really on the line now, she should have thought twice before using, again, the internet to fuel any type of anything with her job. Nobody wants to deal with, especially, I hate to say this, but as Black women, we don't get the respect that we deserve a lot of the times. And I feel like that's why I feel like they just letting it pan out the way they did. But for her to be a social, something happened, she's basically like a social media personality. And then to come onto the radio show and talk about it with the people you got to work with, you're creating a toxic now environment. Everything that she said on the live, she could have called and said to everybody. And then they could have at least helped. And I think that's why she made the live, because she felt like nobody had her back. But in the same token, you're doing the exact thing that you did to get the job, which I feel like you bullied your way into the position. It's cool. You speaking into existence, I'm getting the position, but you did that and then you got pregnant. And I think when you said, well, I gave Lauren the opportunity, actually, you might have picked her, but they still have the deciding factor if they want her to be a person on the show. You don't have the whole say at all. And I also think you picked her because I don't think I knew Lauren as much as I do now than I did then when they all was competing for the position of Angelique's spot. But at the same token, you on a contract, sis. And when you go online and you bashing your job, you can get fired. Why would you do that? And then to use it as a whole segment today and talk about it and be crying and all emotional. And I get it. Like, you just had your baby, you going through postpartum, but this is business. At the end of the day, you're under a contract. You can't be bad, girl. They could say you can't go and mess up our brand the same way you don't want your brand messed up. Or she like people speaking. To be honest, I'm not saying. I definitely, this is Women's Month. I don't want any woman to lose their position, but unfortunately, women losing their jobs because they're pregnant is not an abnormal thing. I'm not trying to be, and it's a messed up system, but to go and be online during just any time, we got to be able as Black women to lift one another up. I wouldn't have never had a conversation with Lauren online, like on, why would you do that? It's showing that Black women and women cannot work in the same entity. That is why the show had two men. And that's why I like watching Angela Yee's show, because she has two women, one man a lot of time, or it'd be more women hosts than men. And I think she also knew, like, that ain't cool. Like, it's two men and for one woman spot. That's not cool. You can at least have two and two. But of course, they got to put us women against each other, especially Black women. And it's just sad. And Jess running to the internet, because she does come from the social media, run to the internet. You got to learn not to do that. Like, don't run to the internet for your problems. Or to me, it's giving, what's her name? Keita Rose. It's giving Keita Rose. Who did I work for? And that's not going to make them respect you or want you in the realm of it. But to now create this environment. So now Charlamagne thinking every time I don't speak up for Jess, she in her mood. Lauren thinking every time I speak, she think I'm cutting her off when I'm just doing my segment. And it's just creating a toxic environment. And it's sad, because why would you go to social media knowing you're a social personality and then turn around and have a conversation about it? Because you're now a person, y'all usually talk about people in social media, and you're a social media person. So now y'all got to address it at y'all show. But I wouldn't even address it. But then it's creating a toxic energy if you don't address it. I wouldn't address it online. That's when the producers, everybody, should have all had a meeting before going into work. But for you to go and rant and rave on, come on, girl. Let me make this very clear regarding the Jess, Lauren LaRosa, the Breakfast Club in general. I am not invalidating Jess' feelings at all. All I'm saying is how she did it was not the way to go. We all know that the Breakfast Club most likely is ran by some person not a color. And I'm just be honest. Or it could be, but either way, it's just like being in a relationship. I can say I broke up with such and such, but I'm not going to go back, or even just any relationship. I don't need to. I mean, my core friends, my core, I can vent to them. But I'm not going to the public and letting people in my business. I'm not. I'm not letting you know me and my friend ain't cool no more because of A, B, and C, because they have their perspective too. Okay? And that goes for the same thing in a work environment. I wouldn't have played along those lines when it comes to my money and my contract. She brought the whole thing to the Breakfast Club. Yes, she was on her own platform speaking about how she feel, but she could have left things not said, because we don't have everybody's perspective on the board. It's just her perspective and her feeling. They could have talked privately as an entire, like they did to the public, but they had to bring it to the public because she's an influencer and she did it on a public platform. I'm not saying what she said isn't true. Postpartum ain't got nothing to, and I want to change that narrative too. I hate when women are going through something. It's always, well, you going through postpartum or you're emotional. No, she's saying how she feel. It don't have nothing to do with postpartum depression. I'm not going to put that on her. It don't have nothing to do with postpartum. It has everything to do with her job not making roles clear to them. But we don't know her contract. We don't know her money. We don't know what Charlamagne make. We don't know what DJ Envy make. We don't know what Lauren LaRosa make. We don't know what they make. We don't know what they signed upon. It's not our business. And she made it our business prematurely. Whether she was being hurt or not. She might have talked to Charlamagne by herself, like just him and her, and then DJ Envy, you know. But they, I don't think, talked as a group. And she got on IG Live and prematurely went at us, addressed issues that maybe her fans or whoever was talking about. But again, this is business. This is the corporate world. You don't go and do that. Period. Because if you truly care about your family and what you're making, and if you're doing it because you about to exit, then cool. But if you're not planning on exit, it's a way in which you handle things. Because you don't want to mess up opportunities moving forward for you and people call you difficult. Just like Monique came out and said how she felt about Lee Daniels, Oprah, and Tyler Perry. Then she get blackballed. And what she is saying may and well be true, but because people are seeing her speak out, and I don't want to say, we shouldn't speak out. We should very much speak out, but it's a place and time. Because it can come off bitter. It can come off all types of ways. Because again, she was on the Wendy Osefa show. If you don't believe me, go look it up. She was on the Wendy Osefa show on YouTube, and she said, I said I got the position, and I didn't. And she backed the Breakfast Club up against the wall. Then she said, furthermore, in that video with Wendy, I knew I was pregnant, but I didn't say nothing because she know how they do women. When they find out they're pregnant, they quick to find up a replacement, and it ain't cool, and it ain't right. But the thing about it is, then she say, I picked Lauren, but I'm not fond of her. It's like, which one is it? You're contradicting everything you're saying. And that is the issue. You bring it out the behind the scenes to the forefront, but it's a which and where it's not like everybody had an agreement. None of the cast knew, the people, Charlamagne, Envy, Lauren LaRosa, knew she was going to go live and say anything regarding them. They got blindsided too. So, in just the way in which she's handling her not feeling comfortable, and I understand not feeling comfortable, but it's a which and where you do, especially as a Black woman. We are not respected at all. We're the lowest on the totem pole. Am I lying? Am I lying? Somebody come in the comments and tell me if Black women aren't the lowest on the totem pole. I just need to know. I need to know. Because this is crazy to me that people actually like, she shouldn't have to comply. It's not about complying. She signed a contract and we don't know what it say. And it's only her perspective. And she went on another platform. It's just like being in a relationship, like with Tiana Taylor going through with her ex-husband. He signed a contract or agreed and said he would not talk about their dissolvement at all to the public. And he very much did. So I don't know why y'all acting like it's a no. The way that she did it. Am I for what she's saying? To try to make change? 100%. But she could have went to everybody and sat with all of them. Like DJ Envy said, we've been having meetings to try to kind of figure it out. But for her to go on IG Live and let something trigger her for her to crash out, of course they had to address it. She's a part of the entertainment business as far as social media and social influence, and they knew that that would look whack if they didn't address it and kept and carried on. But she brought it to the public. Not the rest of them, she did. So whether she get backlash or she get kudos, either way, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. I stand with Jess. I stand with Lauren. I think they can both work in the entities if their job creates those things. I agree with Jess. Why is she filling in? Because when I hear Jess with the mess intro, I'm thinking Jess about to talk, but it's not. So it's good that Lauren got her spot, but it's like, that's what, like she said, Jess said it. Misplaced anger. 100%. So why are you on the internet telling people this? Why don't you go and say, I have an issue. I think we all, and talk as a whole. And then that way, all four of y'all can go to the board and say, the issue is we need to figure out what each person role and segment we have. I got Donkey of the Day. She got politics or whatever, entertainment. And then I got the jokes. And then he got the radio. Like, come on now. It's not that hard. But by now it's like by her coming out, sound bites get to be created of things she said. People can take here and there of what they want to hear. And if you haven't watched my previous video, go watch my first video. I never invalidated Jess at all. I just said she is creating a very toxic environment. Because I know for me, if one of my coworkers go live and I'm like, dang, I didn't know they were about to go, like, she really talking about me in any capacity. Now I'm guarded. Now I'm like, am I okay? Like, I'm walking on eggshells. I don't know if she over here judging me or whatever the case. That's what I mean when I say toxic environment. Now I'm feeling like, dang, especially if I've been in communication with this person privately and then you blindside me and go to the public and got the internet. And then I got people in my comments, people hit me up like, you see what such and such saying? That's the problem. I'm sorry. And I will not change on that. So